Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Bowtie Chronicles, episode 3, talking about the topic of polygyny. And this is your host, Brother Askari Abdul Wahid, or Brother Askari William Abdul Wahid. Here to go ahead and discuss that topic. Without further ado, we're going to jump right into it. What we wanted to do is actually outline certain benefits of polygamy, okay? And as an African American, a lot of times, we hear about certain things that we feel are, are non-Christian and so forth, as introduced to us by our oppressors, and we don't really understand. So we automatically have a stigma to it. But in fact, we're practicing forms of the same thing in which we dislike. The only thing is that the people who the practices actually presented for are not benefiting from the practice, okay? First of all, polygyny is a practice that is pretty much conducted throughout the majority of the world. And it's always been a practice in Africa. Before Islam and after the advent of Islam entered into Africa. So it's nothing new. Okay, you can find it all the way going back to the Bible. It's biblical. Okay, you find it in the Injil. Okay, the Gospel. And you can find it inside of the Torah also, which is the Old Testament. Okay. Now, the issue is that many people of African American descent, we shun polygyny for the simple fact that, people have an ideal, I'm not going to be no side piece or, no side chick. When in fact, the difference between being a side chick and polygyny is that in polygyny, all of the rights that a wife is afforded, the second wife or the third wife, all of the wives receive the same benefits, okay? Which means that, if the brother, he has to have enough provisions to provide housing, food and clothing, shelter for the sister and her children, okay? Now, with that being said, it would be very unlikely for a lot of brothers to take that on for the simple fact that, they want the side chick. They want the chick that they can run around with on the weekend and then go back home to their wife where, all of their duties are. So brothers reap the benefit of the side chick, okay? But when you talk about polygyny, okay, the benefit is in there for the sister, okay? So she, her rent is paid, her bills are paid, she's eating, she don't have to be running around trying to, figure out where these things are going to be taken care of from, because these things are taken care of by her husband, okay? And regardless if she has co-wives or not, these things are still taken care of, okay? So that is the benefit, and actually the polygamy is a form that of practice that the reason why it's established is so that when you have times of war, when you have many fallen soldiers, and then you have an excess of females. Polygyny is there so that those females also are receiving spouses that will, likewise take care of them financially and physically, and their emotional needs. Okay, which, that is what, one of the benefits is. One of the benefits that is a benefit, but unfortunately, a lot of brothers are not able to actually conduct for benefits in many cases, okay? Okay, now, the benefits are there, but if the benefits are reached, those are another issues that sometimes a sister may opt out to leave her benefits so that she could have physical comfort. You know what I mean? And then later on, find a brother not physically stimulating, and then start But those go back to other problems. You know what I'm saying? Which, as far as that is a sister's benefit, she doesn't have to waive that benefit. But if she decides to waive that benefit, that's on her. Okay. And so, in cases like that right there, I would, I'm not going to speak on that right now, but in cases like that, brothers who are looking to get into this thing, well, like I said before, I'm a practitioner of polygyny. Okay, it's a hard practice. There's nothing light about it. Brothers shouldn't go into it lightly. And if you're not up for the job, you know what I'm saying, you need to talk to somebody about this job. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a serious job. It ain't no game. It's hard. It's stressful. Remember that if you're dealing with one woman, that's a job. So just imagine if you're dealing with 2 or 3 or 4. Okay? So, my advice up until the coming days would, if a lot of brothers, young brothers would, come and say, yeah, man, I'm thinking about taking another wife, I'll look at it and be like, why? You know what I mean? So I'm not against it, but when you look at certain people, you have to give them the advice that you would have wanted, okay? And so you come into this sometimes not knowing how to do it, and you come into it sometimes not knowing all of its benefits and not knowing all of its duties. So you need to get that education first before you even get involved with it if you're a brother, okay? And so what I would say is that I'll give you an example, and I'm gonna close here, and we'll conduct the second part maybe tomorrow. But what I would say is, I remember when I first did this, I didn't go to one of my sheikhs to find out how it should be done. I'm happy. Oh man, I got 2 wives. You know what I'm saying? So I was still young, and I'm, running every day from one house to the next, You know what I mean? And I was fairly young. I think I was in my 30s. And running from one house to the next every day, going to a new house. After about a month of doing that, I couldn't get out the bed, okay? And so I had to go to the hospital. They was trying to figure out what was wrong with me. And basically, nothing was wrong with me, okay? But the science of the body basically shut down. In other words, not allowing your fluids to replenish themselves and not giving yourself a day or 2 of rest so that you can actually do the required job, because that is a job that you must do. It's a required job, and the sister can take you up on that if you ain't doing your job. Problem with me is I was overdoing my job. So, you know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, young brothers coming to the business and they like, wow, oh man, I get 2 of them, you know what I mean? So, and like I said, that plays out after a while. And then the reality of being a father, the reality of being a husband to 2 women, and dealing with their mental states and all that plays in. And then all that fantasy that you had in the beginning, that all goes away. So anyway, cut the story short. I come out. They give me some pills. They give me some drips. They give me some fluids. They get me back up to par. I was back to par after a week. So I went to go see one of my sheikhs that I study with, and he has 3 wives, and so he knows the practice. And so he said, so he's laughing. He says, "Brother Scar, I heard you was sick." I said, "Yeah." He said, "What was wrong?" So I said, "I don't even know." So he started laughing, and he says, "What did they find?" I said, "They didn't find anything." He said, yeah, Sheikh. He told me, next time you want to get into the practice, you need to sit down and get educated on how the practice should be done so that you don't hurt yourself. And so basically what he told me from that point on is that you have to know what it is that you're capable of. Maybe you need to spend 2 days over here at this house so that you can do service to the sister and then get rest. Or you need to, you need to be able to determine your state and what you're capable of, okay? And so for some it may be 2 days, some it may be 3 days, but nevertheless, you need to let your fluids recuperate so that you actually have fluids for the job, okay? So with that being said, I'm gonna stop right there and Assalamu alaikum, Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad, shukran.